This is a 2012 MacBook Pro, a base model, i5 and 4GB of RAM and 60 FPS on CSGO. Even the supported games are terrible on macOS, so how am I doing this? Simple, boot camp. Install Windows 10, you get a performance increase. So how do you do it, and what are the performance gains? I am talking 5 FPS on CSGO. However, switching to Windows 10, like I said, gets 60 FPS. Also, just better compatibility on Windows 10. However, I recommend dual booting because macOS is faster, uses less battery, and with Windows 10 the machine runs hotter. Whenever you use Windows 10, turn the fan speed to max. Don't worry, it's perfectly fine for your fan to run at these high speeds for an extended period of time. Use Max Fan Control. It works on Windows despite the name. Link in description. Now I'm going to be showing you how to do it. It is very easy. Just head to the Microsoft download website for Windows 10 and select Windows 10 Multi-Edition ISO. Press confirm. It may take a few minutes. Then select your language on the selector. There it is. Alright. Select your language, press confirm. Validating request may take a few minutes. Select the 64-bit download, and then when it is done, head to bootcamp. Now that we are on to bootcamp, you want to select continue. Make sure you select the first option, the second option, and this is, since I already have it installed, this will come up. This won't be here for you. Just select that as well. Then select continue. Select your drive, press continue, and then after that, it'll restart and ask you for a partition. Can't show you that since I already have it installed. So, reboot while holding down the Alt key. Make sure your flash drive is plugged in. And then when you get to this screen, make sure you select Windows and not EFI boot. Do not select this. If you do, you will not have sound, and obviously that is really bad. It could be called something else depending on your flash drive, but make sure you do not select this and you select this. And then just install like a normal Windows. So select the Windows like we have talked about. Select the Enter key, and it'll freeze for a few seconds, and then eventually it'll move to a black screen. It will say XFA, and eventually it'll add a T, so it'll say XFAT, because that's the partition. And then you may see a dash here, but because my Mac is so fast, it doesn't. And eventually, it will start loading into the Windows installer. As you can see, there's the logo. Into your Windows partition, you may have to hold the Alt key like I had to. So now it is time to talk about the performance increase. Muck, a lighter game. It goes from being completely unplayable to completely playable on low settings. It's still not the greatest, but it's pretty good for a 10-year-old laptop and an indie game. Strongness on this MacBook Pro is great, probably over 100 FPS, but there's no FPS counter, so I really have no idea what this is running at, but it is an extremely great experience. I could see myself playing this, and even without cranking the fan speed like all the other games, it doesn't make the CPU and GPU go up to over 100 degrees. It's time for Fortnite. This game goes from unplayable, because it's a Mac, to playable in a pinch. It's not the greatest thing ever, but I have lower standards than other YouTubers. I could look at a 4 FPS game and say it was playable in a pinch, because, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So I could definitely play this. It's definitely better than some, like, random $50 Walmart laptop. Don't mute if this needs to be said, but make sure you have the battery settings on best performance, or else you won't be getting the best that you could out of this little i5. Like I said, you should still have macOS installed, but just because of how much hotter it makes my Mac run. I have to have my fan speeds all the way up, or else it gets into the 70s just idling and over 95C while gaming. This is perfectly okay for the CPU and GPU, but it makes the body and frame of the laptop hot, and it can make an uncomfortable experience. I don't know about you, but I love the MacBook Pro's trackpad. Even while gaming, it's okay. Kind of ironic considering the fact that this MacBook is meant not to game. But with this video, you can make any Intel Mac good for gaming, or at least okay at it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends.